Hello students, in this video we are going to see the equivalent circuit and phasor diagram of our synchronous generator. Okay, so far we are covered with armature reaction. Okay, what is armature reaction? Effect of armature flux on the main field flux is nothing but armature reaction. So now let us try to understand equivalent circuit and phasor diagram of our synchronous generator. Okay, most of the content regarding equivalent circuit and phasor diagram has already been covered in armature reaction, but for content purpose I am going to give you this. Okay, so we know that because of this rotor rotation, which is having a magnetic field like this. Okay, so this magnetic field cuts with the stator conductors that will produce EMF. Okay, that is E naught. Okay, our stator conductors will be induced with some EMF E naught. Okay, that is here. E naught is EMF induced in the armature winding. Now this EMF is not the voltage that available at the terminal. That means, so let us consider this is EMF generated. Let us consider this is the terminal voltage VT. Okay, this E naught and VT are not equal. Why? E naught is not equal to terminal voltage VT. Okay, but it is equal under no load condition. Under no load condition, it is equal. The generated EMF and terminal voltage are equal at no load condition. At no load, there will be no armature current. Okay, so that's why there will be no losses. That's why our EMF generated will be equal to terminal voltage. But under loaded condition, it is not equal. Okay, terminal voltage will be less compared to our generated EMF. So why it is happening? Let us see. So VT is the terminal voltage. Then what are the factors that affecting our EMF generated? Let us see. So the first factor that is affecting our generated EMF is armature resistance drop. Okay, so this armature resistance drop will consume some voltage. Okay, that should be deducted from our terminal, our generated EMF E naught. And leakage reactance drop. That means what is the leakage reactance? The leakage reactance is flux induced by armature conductors will not link with the main field flux, and this is treated as leakage reactance XL. Okay, I hope you know that. That is only links with stator core, but it won't link with rotor core. That is why it is a leakage reactance. Okay, so there is no useful work done by that leakage reactance. That's why it is called as a drop. This is another factor affecting our generated EMF E naught. Okay, and the third one we have seen yesterday, that was armature reaction drop. Okay, there was a effect due to armature flux on main field flux that will induce some drop. That is called armature reaction drop. It is IAXA, and this armature reaction drop IAXA is more compared to drop due to resistance and leakage reactance of armature. Okay, this drop is, if this is around 0.01 per unit, okay, this will be around 0.15 per unit, but the armature reaction drop is around 0.84 per unit. That means this is very large compared to drop due to armature resistance and armature leakage reactance. That means I can say the armature reactance drop, armature reaction drop is very large compared to drop due to armature resistance and leakage reactance. Okay, now let us try to understand the equivalent circuit. So what is the equivalent circuit? Equivalent circuit is nothing but modeling a physical machine into RLC components. Okay, so we have a rotor which is having a DC excitation, so that winding is replaced with a resistor. This is my rotor resistor R and leakage reactance of rotor. Okay, so this will be excited with a DC supply, variable DC supply, and there will be another resistor which is a variable resistor to regulate the field current. So this is rotor circuit. This is rotor field current IF. Okay, this is regarding rotor circuit. Okay, as it is DC, there will be one circuit. So when it is come to our stator winding, there will be three phases, right? A, B, C. So and it will be having a induced EMF of E naught. Okay, so each phase will be induced with a EMF E naught and having a resistance and inductance of RA XL in series with our armature reaction drop. So this is our terminal voltage. Okay, this is for A phase. So I am mentioning it as VTA. So for B phase, similarly, that will be, this is for B phase XL XCA and terminal voltage is VTB. Okay, so similarly for C phase, it will be RA XL XA and terminal voltage is VTC. Okay, so these are the three phases. Okay, A phase, B phase, C phase of our stator winding. So stator is having three phases. They are A, B and C. Okay, for equivalent circuit we are going to take per phase equivalent circuit. That means we are going to consider only one phase out of these three phases and we are going to draw the circuit. Now why did I connect this leakage reactance, armature reaction drop in series with the stator circuit? Why it is happening? Because I have already told you armature reaction is a dependent quantity of load. Okay, it is dependent quantity of load and its power factor. Okay, since load is, the load change will be considered as load current or armature current in our circuit. So the current is a series component, so I am going to replace our armature reactions drop in series with our circuit. So in order to see the change in the drop, we have to connect this armature reaction drop in series with the stator circuit. Now let us draw the equivalent circuit. So we will be having E0 generated EMF and armature reaction component XA and leakage reactance component XL and armature resistance RA. Okay, so here this generated voltage will be E0 and drop due to IAXA is more compared to drop due to XL and RA. I have shown you in the previous, I have already shown you, right. So after this armature reaction drop, the EMF is air gap EMF, I can say it is air gap EMF. Okay, so this drop is very less and you can say this is a terminal voltage of having 0 degree phase displacement. Okay, so because the drop due to XL and IA, so this is our armature current IA. Now the drop due to IA XL and IA RA is very less, so I can treat VT equal to ER, that means the angle, phase angle will be same. But the drop due to armature reaction drop is very high, so the angle between ER and E0 will be equal to load angle, that is called delta. Okay, delta is called load angle. Okay, actually it is the angle between E0 and ER, but as our drop due to XL and RA is very less, I can treat that ER is similar with VT, so I can make it that delta is the angle between E0 and VT, as ER and VT are same, so delta is actually angle between E0 and ER, but ER is similar to VT, so I am going to take it as delta is angle between E0 generated EMF with terminal voltage. This is load angle, so delta is angle between E0 and terminal voltage. Okay, so this is it. IA is armature current and this is armature reaction component. Okay, delta is called load angle or angle behind synchronous impedance, behind synchronous impedance. Okay, this is about equivalent circuit of our synchronous generator. Now let us try to draw phasor diagram. So from this expression I can write it as E naught equal to terminal voltage VT plus armature current into armature resistance plus IA into leakage reactance plus IA into armature reaction component. Okay, so this is what I can write from this expression. Okay, source equal to drop, you can apply KVL, right. Now here I have already explained you about these factors, right. IA, RA, IA, take the IA common, that will become RA plus J into XL plus XA. Okay, here XL plus XA is called XS, that is synchronous reactance, and RA plus J into XL plus XA is called synchronous impedance. This ZS is called synchronous impedance. Okay, so let us try to draw the vector phasor diagram for this expression. That will become, okay, I have already drawn you. Let us take a lagging power factor load. So our current will lag with the terminal voltage. Okay, so the drop due to IA RA will be in phase with this current, so that this line should be parallel with IA, that is IA RA. Okay, and drop due to IA XL will be perpendicular to drop due to IA RA, that will be IA XL, and drop due to IA XY will be in series with IA XL, this is IA XA. Okay, so the sum of all these vectors will become our generated EMF. Okay, I have already told you. So this will become Z, IA ZA, this is IA ZS. Okay, now the angle between terminal voltage and current, this is pi, right. So I am going to draw another vector diagram. Okay, this is about this expression E naught. Okay, now let us try to see the original phasor diagram of our synchronous generator. Okay, so flex. So first we are going to apply some main flex phi m. Okay, then EMF is being induced on the stator. Okay, that is E naught here. Okay, so VT is terminal voltage which is less compared to our E naught. Okay, now let us consider for a lagging power factor load. Okay, for a lagging power factor load, our current will lag with terminal voltage. So the drop due to IRA will be in phase with our IA, that will be IRA. Okay, now this is drop due to IAXL. Okay, this will be perpendicular. This is drop due to IAXS. Okay, XS is nothing but XA plus XL. Okay, so let me consider up to this, it is XL, IAXL, and this is IAXA. Okay, so this whole line will phasor will indicate IAXA plus IAXL. Now the angle between terminal voltage and armature current is power factor angle pi, okay, and we have obtained that the angle between E0 and Vt is delta, okay, load angle, and the angle between E0 and Ia is called internal power factor angle psi, okay. So then psi is called internal power factor angle, which is equal to, here the psi is sum of delta plus pi, it is delta plus or minus pi. For lagging it is plus, for leading it is minus, okay, plus for lagging and minus for leading power factor load, okay. So here the flex due to armature will be in phase with Ia, okay, this is flex due to armature flex. So the net flex is Im and our Ia, the net flex is like this. So this is net flex here, pi net, the angle between pi net and pi m is load angle, okay. Here the angle, here this angle is 90 degrees, and here Vt and pi net will also be having a 90 degree angle. Now the angle between pi m and our Vt, what is the angle here? It is, here this is pi m, this is Vt phasor, it is 90 degrees plus delta, okay, 90 plus delta, where delta is load power factor, load angle, delta is load angle, okay. Now let us consider the angle between pi m and pi a. What is the angle between pi m and pi a? That is pi m and pi a here, it is 90 plus delta plus pi, that is nothing but psi, okay, that is 90 plus psi, okay. So and Vt, terminal voltage, angle between Vt and Ia is power factor angle pi, okay. So and so that's it, these are the angles, okay. So this is 90 plus delta, angle between pi m and Vt, angle between pi m and pi a is 90 plus psi, and angle between Vt and Ia is power factor angle pi, okay. So this is important, the angle between internal power factor angle and load angle and power factor angle, that is psi equal to delta plus or minus pi, positive for lagging power factor load, negative for leading power factor load. Now let us divide these components. Here this up to this phasor, this will be Vt cos pi, okay, this phasor will be Vt cos pi, okay, and this phasor is equivalent to IaRa drop, so this phasor will be IaRa, okay, and here this is Iaxs, right. So that will become, so here this phasor, this part will become, this is equivalent to this, right, this part is equivalent to parallel to this, that means the magnitude is same here. So this is Vt sin pi, Vt sin pi, and it is Iaxs. Now let us, from this triangle, this is 90 degrees, right. So this will be, E0 will be hypotenuse, Iaxs will be opposite side, and this vector will be adjacent side. So by applying Pythagoras here, E0 square, which is hypotenuse here, equal to Vt cos pi plus IaRa, Vt cos pi plus IaRa whole square plus opposite side square, that is Vt sin pi plus Iaxs whole square, okay. So this is our expression for generated EMF in terms of IaRa and Iaxs, okay. We are going to have a problem on this expression so that you can understand it clearly, okay. So all the values are per phase values because it is a phasor diagram, okay. So let us take a problem. So here is the problem. A 3-phase star connected alternator supplies a load of 10 megawatts at a power factor of 0.85 lagging and 11 kV terminal voltage, okay. Its armature resistance, that means resistance is armature resistance in the order of 0.1 ohm per phase, and synchronous reactance is 0.66 ohm per phase. Then calculate the value of EMF generated, okay. What is the value of EMF generated in an alternator, okay. So let us try to write down the given data here. That will be, what is the given data? It is a 3-phase star connected alternator, it is a star connected 3-phase, okay. Star connected means here our line voltage equal to root 3 times phase voltage. I think you know that for a star connected the line voltage is root 3 times phase voltage. So in our equation for generated EMF we use phase voltage, so that will become VL by root 3, okay. The given values will be in line to line RMS, we have to make them into phase voltage, okay. So this is one thing. And what is the given data then? And a load of 10 megawatt, that means output power is 10 megawatts, our generator is supplying a power of 10 megawatts, and power factor is that cos, our power factor is cos pi equal to 0.85 lagging here, okay. This is also important, lagging or leading, okay. Then terminal voltage Vt, which is a line voltage, they mention only line voltage in the question, so that will be 11 kV. So it is line voltage, I am going to change it to phase, that will happen if I divide it with root 3. Okay, I am changing the K to 1000, that will become 6350 volts. This is phase voltage. Okay, the given line voltage I have changed it to phase voltage. Now its resistance, armature resistance Ra is 0.1 ohm per phase. Okay, and synchronous reactance Xs is 0.66 ohm per phase. These are phasor values, we don't need to convert them. Now we have to calculate our generated EMF E0. So we have to find EMF generated in alternator, that is E0. So the expression for EMF generated, so what is E0 EMF generated equal to, so far we have obtained V0 square equal to Vt cos pi plus Ia Ra whole square and Vt sin pi plus Ia Xs whole square. Okay, so Vt is phase value here and we have cos pi and we need to find Ia here, and so that we can obtain Ia Ra drop, and we need to find sin pi, we need to find pi value from here, and we need to obtain sin pi value, and we need to obtain Ia Xs drop. So first of all we need to obtain I0 value. So that is possible. Here what is the power equal to root 3 times Ia VL Ia into cos pi. This is power equation in our 3-phase synchronous machine. So from this I have power, that is 10 megawatts, and VL terminal voltage and cos pi power factor. So I can obtain Ia here. Okay, Ia will be equal to P by root 3 into line voltage into cos pi. Okay, I am going to substitute the values here. 10.6 power by root 3 into line voltage 11 kV and power factor 0.85. Okay, so what will be the line current value? That will be equal to 618 amps. This is Ia here, 618 amps. The Ia is 618 amps. So I can find Ia Ra here, that will be drop due to armature resistance, that will be Ia is 618 and armature resistance is 0.1. Okay, that will be 61.8 volts, and then Ia Xs drop, yes, that is 618 into 0.66. Okay, this is the drop due to armature synchronous reactance, that will be equal to 40.8, sorry, it is around 408 volts. The drop due to synchronous reactance is 408 volts. So you can see here. Okay, I hope you understand. Okay, this is very good example to understand the EMF generated in alternator. Okay, you can see the values here. So Ix drop is very more compared to IR drop, and your generated EMF is more compared to your terminal voltage. Okay, from here or here. So I hope you understand the phasor diagram and equivalent circuit of our synchronous generator. Okay, thank you. So the drop due to synchronous reactance is very much higher compared to drop due to our armature resistance. So you can understand from this. Okay, so we have left with sin pi. So sin pi is nothing but we have to find the pi here, that is possible from cos pi equal to 0.85. So pi will be cos inverse of 0.85. Okay, cos inverse of 0.85. By entering the values in calc, you can obtain the pi equal to 31.8 degrees. So that is 31.8 degrees. So substitute the pi in sin 31.8 degrees, that will become 0.527. The value of sin pi is 0.527. So we have obtained Vt terminal voltage phasor value 6350 and cos pi is 0.85 lagging, and Ia Ra is 61.8 and Vt is 63550 and cos sin pi is 0.527 and Ia Xs is 408. So we can draw a phasor diagram, right? So the phasor diagram will be, this is E0 which is to be found. So V equal to 6350, this is V, and Ia Ra drop, what is the Ia Ra drop? This is Ia armature current, that is 618 amps. So Ia Ra drop is 61.8 amps, and Ia Xa drop is Ia Xs, right? Ia Xs is 408. Okay, so sum of these values will become E0. Okay, this is phasor diagram, right? And here the power factor angle between Vt and Ia is 31.8 degrees. Okay, this is phasor diagram. So you can substitute the values here. E0 square equal to Vt line voltage to phase voltage, that means this is star connected armature, that's why it is a phase voltage 6350 Vt into cos pi 0.85 plus Ia Ra drop is 61.8 whole square plus, I am going to erase this. Now Vt into 6350 sin pi, it is 0.527 plus Ia Xs drop, that is 408 whole square. Okay, so by rearranging you can obtain it as 6625 volts. E0 equal to 6625 volts. It is phasor value. Okay, if you want to convert this into line voltage, that will become root 3 times 6625 volts. Okay, that will be equal to 11,486 volts. This is line voltage generated in our generator. Okay, so the terminal voltage is 11,000, but our no load generated line voltage is 11,486. So this drop is consumed by this 408 plus 61.8, that is 468 around. Okay, so and in addition to this there will be some core losses. Okay, so this is about EMF generated